It had been nearly 2 years since I last wandered out to the southwestern edge of my ranch, a wild, tangled corner of earth where mesquite clung to the silence like an old friend. That patch of land wasn't part of my daily grimy world revolved around the heart of the ranch. The cattle, the creaking machinery, the fences that held it all together. But with tax season creeping up and a half-baked idea for new storage barns rattling in my brain, I figured it was time to take a look. I fired up my dusty Chevy, tossed in a GPS, a clipboard, and a thermos of coffee gone cold, and set off across my own land like a stranger on mission. The deeper I drove, the quieter it got. No hum of engines, no Celsaire VYC, just the wind hissing through dry grass and the occasional rabbit bolting across the path. It was the kind of solitude you don't just stumble into, you earn it. But as I rounded a bend near the western slope, my foot slammed the brake before my brain caught up. My pulse thundered. 5 polished cabins stood in front of me, gleaming like they'd been airlifted from some luxury resort. Cedar siding, floor-to-ceiling windows, satellite dishes winking in the sun. A Wi-Fi tower buzzed nearby, and a wooden sign in fake rustic script chirped, "Saw welcome to Hollow Creek Guest Cabins. Book your stay." Saw. I sat there, frozen, like I'd walked into my own kitchen and found a stranger frying eggs. I double-checked the GPS, triple-checked my old parcel maps, stared at the coordinates until my eyes burned. No mistake. This was my land, dead center of the southwestern corner. Every acre registered, taxed, and passed down through 4 generations of hard-headed farmers who'd sooner die than sell a square foot. I stepped out, boots crunching on gravel that shouldn't have been there. A shiny steel fence boxed the area, complete with an electric keypad gate and security cameras glinting like vultures' eyes. A sleek Tesla hummed on a solar charger, like this was some eco-spa instead of my back 40. My knuckles popped as I gripped the steering wheel. Then I drove home in silence, rage simmering low. That night, I set my drone up, mapped every inch from the sky, saved the footage 3 times over, and printed screenshots with timestamps. Sleep wasn't an option. I paced, staring at old photos. My grandpa, suspenders and a branding iron. My dad, grinning behind the wheel of the tractor I still drive. They'd built this place through hail, drought, and dust storms. And now some bastard had paved over their legacy with rental cabins. What burned me most wasn't just that it happened at it, was that they thought I wouldn't notice. But I was noticing now. Come morning, after 3 hours of sleep and coffee that tasted like spite, I went hunting for answers. I knew who bordered me to the south. Travis Kessler. Slick smile, firm handshake, the kind of guy who could sell sand in a desert. He bought the land next to mine a couple of years back, talking big about going off-grid. Turns out, he meant off-principle. I found him strolling between the cabins, showing a young couple how to work the digital locks, dressed in khakis and a flannel that screamed saw influencer, saw more than saw landowner saw. I parked, stepped out, and called his name. He spun around, arms wide, grinning like I'd brought him a pie. "Caleb, man, long time no see." I didn't smile. "We need to talk. Now." He raised an eyebrow, then waved me to a picnic table by the fence. I cut to the chase. "You build on my land." He blinked, faked a double take, then chuckled like I told a bad joke. "Come on, Caleb, that corner's just scrubbing rocks. No one's touched it in years. You sure it's yours?" I slid a stack of maps across the table. "It's mine. Always has been. I've got markers, tax records, drone footage. Checked it 4 times. His grin twitched, but held. "Look, no offense, but it's not like you were using it. People need places to escape. You've got thousands of acres. This little spot? It's making a difference." "You mean making saw you saw money?" I snapped. "You tap my wells, my grid. This isn't a mix-up. It's theft." He leaned back, arms crossed, smug as a cat. "The world's changing, Caleb. You want to sit on your dirt forever? Fine. But the rest of us, we build. We move forward." I leaned in, voice low. "I build too. But I don't lie or trespass." His jaw tightened, and for a split second the charm slipped. "Maybe this is just a misunderstanding," he said, cooler now. "Let's not make a big deal." I stood. "Take those cabins down. All of them. And pay for every inch you've ruined." He brushed off his shirt and walked away. That's when I noticed someone watching from a cabina guy with a press badge and a camera. His face looked too familiar. That night, I dug online and nearly choked. Hollow Creek Cabins had promo VY Deos, 5-star Airbnb re-VYUs, even a TikTok of some influencer doing goat yoga on Saw My Saw Land. And there, in the guest list, was Mark Reynolds, investigative reporter for CBS. VYS hadn't just stolen my dearth, turned it into a lifestyle brand. I watched the VY Deos on loop, each glowing re-VYEW like a knife twist. They didn't just think the land wasn't mine. They didn't know I existed. It wasn't just anger anymore. It was erasure. Then VYS got bold. Every weekend, the cabins turned into party, central blaring, house music, generators roaring, fireworks lighting up the sky. One night, a bottle rocket landed 20 feet from my hay barn. I called the sheriff so much I could have dialed blindfolded. Noise complaints, trespassing, vandalism always the same. CIVYL matter, Mr. Hayes. Then the retaliation kicked in. Trash piled up at my gate. Takeout boxes, broken bottles, worse. One morning, a dead coyote lay across my path, posed like a sick trophy. The sheriff called it natural. Sure, because coyotes die in neat little displays. Online, it got uglier. A fake Yelp page from my ranch popped up. 1-star re-VYUs calling me paranoid, aggressive, even resist a gut punch, considering my ranch hands, some with me for decades, are closer than family. VYS played the hero, live streaming from the cabins, whining about bitter old-timers without naming me. His fans connected the dots. Mark Reynolds emailed, wanted my side. I ignored him at first. Public opinion had already burned me at the stake. But then my lawyer called. Caleb, did you approve new water permits? I hadn't. Someone filed them with your dad's signature. He's been dead 10 years, right? My teeth ached from grinding. I called Mark. He showed up the next morning, camera ready, boots too clean for ranch work. But he listened, asked sharp questions, and followed me to the ripped-out markers, the sloppy water lines tapped into my well. I showed him VYS's Eco Tour VY Deo, pointing at Saw My Saw Land and calling it Hollow Creek's untouched sanctuary. Mark raised an eyebrow. That's bold. I muttered, you ain't seen bold yet. The final straw was a wedding. I saw on Instagram drone footage of a bride and groom posing by Saw Creek bed, a whole party trampling my land in designer boots. I drove out, tires screaming. There was VYS, half-button tux, champagne in hand, toasting under string lights. He'd hung across Saw pecan trees. He saw me, raised his glass, and smiled. That's when the anger went cold, sharp like a blade. I called my lawyer that night. Let's sue the bastard. Then I started planning, not just for court for war. The lawsuit hit, cease and desist served, but VYS treated it like a speed bump. After the wedding, I found beer cans in my oak grove, tire tracks across my creek, a cattle gate left open for a caterer's van. Then a drone not mine filmed the wedding live, catching me in the background, hammering a fence post like some grunt in their fantasy. But Mark's report aired, a primetime gut punch. Saw Hollow Creek, paradise or property theft. Saw 17 minutes of drone footage, inner VYUs with me, neighbors, even a landscaper who quit after realizing he was working stolen land. VYS's nature lounge was my oak grove. He declined to comment. The internet exploded angry comments, refund demands. Travuipsilon esse lostit. My barn's lock was smashed, tools scattered, a dead chicken stuffed in the feed bin. Someone drove by my house at night. Headlights off, just close enough to see. I sat by the window, rifle across my lap, not loaded yet. Then VYS threw a press event on Saw My Saw Land, a launch party for Hollow Creek Phase 2. I drove out barefoot, coffee cold, blood pressure volcanic. Reporters, banners, a flower arch, VYS at a podium preaching green dreams. I pulled up, locked eyes. Caleb, join the celebration, he called. You're on my land, I said flat. He shrugged. Details. I yanked the mic cable and faced the reporters. This man standing on land my family's held since 1894. I got more proof than he's got followers. He hissed, this is your last gasp, old man. I'll bury you. I smiled. You picked the wrong fight. At 1:17 a.m., a motion sensor chirped. My phone lit up. Saw movement detected. Zone 4. So I grabbed the live feed. There was VYS crouched by the gate, headlamp glowing, laptop open, messing with the keypad logs. His black Tacoma idled nearby. I moved like a machine, jeans, boots, rifle slung for show. I hit the Sarah VYC road, headlights off, coasting silent. When I flicked the high beams, he froze, then bolted, slamming his laptop shut and DVYing for his truck. I cut him off. He peeled out, tires spitting gravel. I chased, dust choking the moonlight, knowing every curve of some I saw land. He clipped a stump, fishtailed, and crashed into an embankment. He ran on foot, laptop clutched like a shield. I gave chase, boots pounding, but he vanished into the brush. Sheriff's deputies arrived, took my footage, gate tampering, plates, thermal cams. They found him at dawn, shoeless, filthy, hiding by a hay shed, clutching a laptop full of forged permits, fake signatures, and plans to steal more land, including a widow's nearby. Court was cold, purposeful. The bailiff called Hayes versus Kessler. VYS sat, polished but hollow-eyed, his 3 lawyers all bark, no bite. My lawyer, Laura Martinez, was a steel blade in a binder. She laid it out. Drone footage, forged permits, my dad's fake signature, illegal cables through my water table. A county clerk, bribed, was arrested. On the stand, I looked at the jury. This land's been mine since 1894. My dad died on it. I've watched every sunrise for 40 years. That man thought he could erase that with a brochure. VYS's defense confusion. Miscommunication crumbled when Laura showed him running that night. The jury took 2 hours. Guilty on all counts: trespass, fraud, forgery, interference. The judge's voice was a gavel. 24 months in prison, Dula $215,000 restitution, cabins gone in 30 days. They bulldozed it all in 5. Cabins, tower, that smug sign reduced to splinters. I stood on the ridge, coffee in hand, silent. The land spoke for itself. I planted a new sign, hand-carved, bolted deep. Saw private property. Cabins gone. Thief 2. Welcome to the real Hollow Creek. Saw the local school brought kids to see the ranch brushing horses, painting fences, their laughter drowning out the ghosts of generators. Neighbors came with ribs and chairs. We ate by the new fence, watching the sun sink. Someone joked about the Wi-Fi tower being horse-powered now. I didn't argue. Alone later, I ran my hand over the sign. The land was whole. The border held. What would you do if someone tried to steal your legacy? Was I too harsh? Or was VYS's punishment too light? Should land like this stay untouched? Or is there room for compromise? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you on edge.